He's eating plenty of ice cream every day.
He's up to 347.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
What, the size of his head?
God damn.
He's benching 200 right now. He's up to benching 200.
He weighs 347. He's benching half of his body weight.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pathetic.
Well, listen, the guy lives in Hutch. His parents are from Hutch. You know, his life can't get really more pathetic than it already is.
But he's a member of the Life Company now.
He's a member of the Life Company.
He should get one.
He should be.
He should get one.
Yeah. Hope he's got a great policy with no deductible.
Hey, Lance, I'm thinking that we ought to tell that Wheeler guy or whatever the hell his name is that we're going to have a tag team, you and I, and we'll challenge any of his two guys.
Can I be on
Ladders, chains, the whole damn 9 yards, and just do a thrashing match with them.
What are you, a dom?
Oh, no, we're getting vicious with them.
Here's the thing, as you know, dictated on the back of my T-shirts, I am the only real wrestler, and that means that I'm the only real talent, the only real deal in all of Kansas, and you know, all of the Midwest for that matter.
I hope you're not driving, because there's no way your ego is going to fit in your car.
Hey, man, you know, I called up the big dog, and they just sent me down a new area code for my own ego. But,
there you go.
Now listen. You know, being the only real deal, the only real wrestler running around here, and the only legitimate wrestling school in the state of Kansas, and you know the only legitimate promotion as far as I'm concerned. You know, there's things that I do. There's other things that I don't do, and one of them is I don't waste my time with talentless hacks like you know, your buddy G's and you know some of his wrestlers running around here.
Well, hey, there is a main event that is getting ready to be signed. And for the March show, it's going to be Key Boy against your boy, Mike Game, Michael Gooseby, a.k.a. Chocolate Chip.
I
Who's
wonder.
doing the show? What show is this in March? Who's doing it?
Flex Reed.
Wait, what is the? First of all, are we taking bets? And what's the spread?
Flex Reed is bringing the pain and all that jazz.
Number one, I think that we ought to just beat up their whole damn roster just for having that be the main event.
You know.
That can't be the main
Valid
event,
point,
is it?
my friend.
I think it's a co-main event because I'm trying to book the main event to include Kenny Zombie Jones.
Now, who's this Key Boy anyway?
He's a rapper. He weighs 126.
He's always off pitch and he's a little bitch, so it's no.
He weighs 126. He's a rapper.
He's a rapper.
I see this guy. He's like one of the rest of the little tweakers over there at Hutch running around.
He says he used to be an indie wrestler back in the day.
Okay, yeah, no, he hasn't. And you know, so I see his little gap tooth, midget ass running around, and I've seen him out there at the cotillion a couple times, and he's running around with his mangy clothes. It doesn't look like he's.
I did some research into him, and you know what league he used to be in? He was in the anorexic league.
God damn.
Fuck, he was in something. In the crack fight.
He was in the
crack.
He was in the chemotherapy league, the cancer patient league.
Who's this third guy we're talking to here?
Oh, my name's Nathan. I'm with the Joykoffs.
It doesn't matter your name. Hey, so listen.
God.
No, it's cool. I don't care about your name either. So.
Pride in the little indies wrestling leagues around here. Hopefully, we got some good news that I can go public with here pretty soon. But everything's taken off with wrestling, and the school's going good over here. So hopefully we can bring some good good quality wrestling here to Wichita pretty soon.
I like it.
I have a plan. If they do that thing in March, we ought to do one in June back here in Hutchinson again with the Mangler doing it.
We could do one in March the same day.
The same day.
Wow.
But we probably couldn't because Jiggy.
I think no. You got the marketing all wrong.
The other one because he's probably double agent, the whole game.
We show up. We show up at the March event, and we promote the Midwest Wrestling Entertainment
Jiggy Jaguar's got so many personalities and so much going on that he doesn't know who he's loyal to at this.
He's a mercurial man.
That's right.
Well, he's been confused.
The wrong person to pitch the wrong deal.
He's been confused ever since Jeeves fired him as his manager after he drummed up the Mangler versus Jeeves bout. Jeeves fired him for potentially bodily harm.
You know what's funny about the Mangler, and we'll explain this to Nathan because Nathan doesn't know this story, but the Mangler, who we've got on the telephone here, went over to Jeeves' house, first night of the Empire, Jeeves, and pulled an NWO on his ass. He basically just invaded his house.
And then asked Jeeves a couple of questions.
Yes. And at one point he said, which is my favorite line, and I think it ought to be on a Mangler t-shirt. You better watch it. I'm gonna take out your dog with a Gatorade bottle to the face and a cigarette to the eye.
No, you know what? That's clever.
And the Mangler did him a favor because apparently Jeeves' roommate's car was on fire, and he singularly pissed on it and put the fire out.
Hey man, you gotta protect the neighborhood. I wasn't gonna have that place.
I know that car on fire could have caught the neighbor's house on fire.
You mangled that fire with your piss, bro.
You know what I did? Whenever they rolled that out of the, whatever thrift store they bought it from, it devalued it. I just added a little value to it with the Mangler piss. If a window would have been down, I could have helped out the interior a little bit.
I think that we ought to show up to that March event and promote MWE's event coming a month or 2 months later, and use it for the first advertising campaign. Say, look, this is real wrestling here.
Well, I might be on the show in March.
Look at that. Maybe we'll have to have him wrestle.
I'm not in New Orleans with Knobs at the Hall of Fame induction ceremony.
We're gonna have. Uh-oh. Whoa.
They're doing what to Knobs?
What are they gonna do to Knobs?
No, I said if I'm not in Florida or in where I think it's New Orleans this year at the Hall of Fame induction ceremony with Nasty Boy, my trainer Brian, the Nasty Boy Knobs.
That's right.
Nasty Boy.
If I'm not up in Philadelphia,
that the Nasty Boys might be the next Hall of Fame inductees this year.
Good people.
He is good people.
That'd be good for him. If I'm not in Philly and New York City that weekend in March, I'll come down to this event here in Hutchinson.
You know what I think we ought to do is we ought to have Kenny Zombie Jones against the Mangler.
Not.
Yeah.
Not.
Let's not do that. Let's not have Kenny Zombie Jones in the same building as the Mangler, because I don't want to give him any hype. When you're around to soak in the perfection and the beauty that is the Mangler, he doesn't deserve that.
I guess they tried getting that Chaos to wrestle, and he told him he could eat all of Flex's entire wrestling roster.
Dear God.
Well.
Was this guy the Mike Tyson of wrestling?
I'm gonna eat all your relatives and your producers, and I'm gonna eat all your crew.
Oh no, Chaos is a 7-foot monster, isn't he?
Oh, he is.
Then it's not just a clever name.
Oh no.
Well, I wish we could have had Lance show up at my birthday roast, because I would have loved to hear his speech. I would have loved to hear him.
I would have loved to have been there.
Him and Bill's speech. Although Jeeves told me that it was good that you weren't there because he was going to show up. He didn't, but he said if you would have been there, he would have shown up.
Oh, come on. The reason he didn't show up because he thought I would be there.
Yeah.
Jiggy's got so many friends in conflict, only half the audience showed up because the other half was afraid that the other half was going to be there. So none of them showed up.
That's why I didn't show up.
The comedian formerly known as James Davis didn't show up because he thought Dave Jennings was going to be there. If Dave didn't show up because he thought James Davis would be there and he'd end up punching him and get arrested. So that eliminated 2 of them right off the bat.
You know
and that was like half the crowd.
This is why Hutch decides to implode on itself sometimes.
Oh, I know. Well, you know what Hutchinson is, don't you? It's a prison community.
When the city decides to sink on its own, you know that there's problems there.
Oh yeah, this city here is a penal community. These people get out of the institution over there and they breed into the gene pool and they keep getting it dumber and dumber as time goes on. There's only like 6 people in the whole town that take a bath.
But there's like a lot of really nice buildings and stuff.
You got the least dumb of your ignorant people running City Hall up there, and
Yeah, half of them are related.
I'm glad I reside on the other side of the county line.
You're lucky. That way they don't try to force you into one of the Mennonite weddings over here.
I'm lucky because I don't have to deal with. I don't have to see or hear from that giant doofus, Jeeves.
Giant doofus. Hey, he's the first knight. He's got himself a samurai sword and all that crap.
He should cuddle up under his little blanket and go night because the Mangler might come over there and decide to have a house party again.
Jeeves had to go to the hospital when he wrestled Eddie Harrison.
Jeeves has to go to the hospital every time he leaves McDonald's and has a fucking little mini heart attack.
Oh my God!
Jesus Christ.
Hey, Jeeves.
Or when his mom and dad won't, do something for him and won't pay his rent that month.
Jiggy couldn't understand why Rob hangs out with him, and I said it's simple. Jeeves gets a girlfriend, Rob fucks her.
Oh
Yeah.
my.
Well, see, and that's the relationship they have, and I think the reason that him and Chris don't get along is because they fight on whose parents do more for them.
Schroeder don't come over here no more.
Well, be blessed.
I know.
Be blessed.
You got the giant doofus and his little twin brother, midget doofus.
Ever
Chris
since I
Schroeder.
threatened to throw him down and run a lawnmower on his back to cut the back hair off of him, he ain't been back around.
Him and Double Agent Jiggy were running around.
What are you
Double agent.
talking
Oh,
about?
double agent Jiggy.
What are you talking about?
Oh, where do his loyalties
Jiggy's probably the one
lie?
who constructed the whole let's bring a wrestling show to Wichita Flex Reed.
Well, hey,
He
some
was trying to get me to do it a while back. See, now he's trying to cut me off. He might cut my mic off. He was trying to get me to do it a while back, but I wouldn't come to that, cesspool in Kansas, and so he probably called the next guy who would.
well, somebody.
Jiggy probably called Flex.
I think we ought to call Flex Reed up and tell him he's out of the business.
What? Now tell me where. I've completely sidetracked myself. Where does this rumor come from?
I don't know. We heard it all over.
You hear from Jiggy?
No.
No, we heard it everywhere.
From who?
Just different people. Like we were at the state fair and we were talking about,
Lucas is out of the business.
and all sorts of people. They're like, oh wait, well, there's a rumor that he ran some promoters out of the business.
Well, I did, Lucas.
That
doesn't mean I was calling people around and telling them to get out of the business.
it's so funny because when I talked to Lucas,
No, we're just giving you shit, man.
when I talked to Lucas at the fair, I said, hey, I heard you're not in the wrestling business anymore, and he goes, nope, I'm a family man and I don't need that. I don't need that mess.
Because he was providing so much.
Because he screws people, and he doesn't know. You know what? It's a jabroni running around in a world full of wrestlers, and nobody knows what's going on. And he was one of those people that knew not what was going on.
Well, and then you got the trampoline backyard guys in Salina who said that if
Those guys make me want to bang my own head against the wall.
They said that get this, they said if the Mangler or me or any of our associates were to show up at their event, they would have security to quote unquote take care of us.
Oh, yeah,
Do they hire security or hitman?
We'll just take Jeeves with us.
Yeah, we're gonna take Jeeves up there with us.
I hate to cut the thing short, but I gotta get running. I've got an event I've got to run to. But
Hey, all right. Hey,
talking to you guys.
let's plan on heading up to the Salina, and we'll stick Jeeves on him. And if he loses, we'll jump in and help him.
Hey, sounds good to me.
Okay, Lance, we'll talk
We'll
to you
talk to you
soon,
later,
baby.
man.
Appreciate it. The Midwest Mangler.
Wow. Need I say more?
In overtime,
Wow.
here on Radio Xenu, the Professor Steve Lovesy and the Cast Iron Ladies. Did you show him the
poster?
poster?
Yeah, he had trouble peeling the first page off of it. It was so sticky.
I'm telling you, these ladies are fantastic. He went up to Rochester.
It
and,
looks like all of them are more of a man than I'll ever be.
They pump some iron. They do.
Yeah.
A couple of them were leg pressing 1,000 pounds. That
Dear
was
God.
pretty impressive.
They could change a flat without a jack.
Yeah. Wait till you see the Philly crew and the New York City crew. That was Rochester.
Let me go ahead and pull up your car for you.
Yeah, I quit hiring security for my events. I just have them.
Yeah, right?
Jesus Christ. So, Steve, what did you make of the Mangler and all of his?
Well,
Should
he
answer.
admitted to the one thing we heard about.
He admitted to.
I think he's willing to work with Flex Reed. I don't mean work him over. I mean work with him. I still think that Lance and I ought to be a tag team against anybody that Flex Reed can bring to the game.
Can bring in
Yeah.
anybody?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who.
Doesn't matter who. He could have Keyboy and Mike Game versus Lance and me.
I don't know about that. That's a pretty tough combination on Mike Game. He likes to spit on people's windshields.
That's his go-to move.
That's his MO.
So we ought to call Flex Weed, or what's his
Weed.
Flex Weed,
Flex Weed.
Flexible Weed, or whatever.
Flexible
Let's
weed.
get him on the phone and tell him we want a main event there. It's Lance and I versus his guys.
Hey man, it's like why always got to be go starting stuff?
We're not gonna start.
You gotta be starting stuff.
No, it's because starting shit's awesome. Let's call that motherfucker up and do it.
We want to get some people in the audience, and the only way to do that is have a real main event.
Yeah.
Well, I forgot to ask